Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. I had a crazy week. I spent most of it in the hospital. I'm doing much better now, but that's why I didn't put out any videos and I wasn't responding to as many comments as normal. Next week, I'll be back on track. And because I missed out on so many big reveals, I can't break down individual episodes on all this stuff. So I just decided I'm going to do one big catch-up episode focusing on Marvel Legends, WWE, G.I. Joe, a little bit of everything. Let's get into it. First up, Hasbro revealed its latest Marvel Legends retro figure, a Ghost Rider. Now this one is a weird retro choice just because you think of Ghost Rider, you think of a bike. And in most cases, Hasbro hasn't really released a Ghost Rider figure without a bike. And this one's weird because it's kind of colored like Dan Ketch. I tried to find some reference to Johnny Blaze in this particular color scheme. Couldn't find it. It seems like if you want a basic classic Johnny Blaze, that Legendary Riders set was the way to go. It's a really good figure. Nice with the blue, black, the piping. It's a really nice looking figure. And I kind of feel like this one doesn't really fit anything. It's got that nice transition head sculpt of Johnny Blaze, his head melting away, and you can see the flames coming as he's starting to transition the transformation to Ghost Rider. But that's really all there is to this figure. It's got the lit up whip, that's cool. The chain whip, that's nice. Got those flame effect parts, solid. But then you come to the price tag. It is $27.99, and I'm like, you thought Johnny Blaze's head was about to erupt into flames. Mine was when I saw that price. Like, what are they smoking? Whoosh. But this is so weird because I look back at that Toy Biz Marvel Legends Series 3 Dan Ketch Ghost Rider, a character who never gets any love nowadays. And we were still waiting for that Dan Ketch. Maybe he's going to be part of that HasLab Ghost Rider theme. I kind of feel like he has to because he's been so underserved in terms of getting an updated figure. But that figure came with a bike. Now granted, it was a little smaller scale. It wasn't quite to scale for a 6-inch figure, but they actually packed a bike in with a figure. And it wasn't like hey, we're going to charge you a special deluxe price. It was the same exact cost as every other Marvel Legends figure. I mean, I'm amazed at what Toy Biz did back in the day in terms of the figures, the sculpts, the articulation, and most importantly, the bases and all those extras that they provided with the figures. Because nowadays it's like, yeah, the sculpt may be better, and the articulation may be more fluid, but man, you're not getting nearly as much for your value. And $28 for one figure that has a different head sculpt and a couple of reused accessories, no Build-A-Figure piece, I can't see how that's $28 worth. And it's just, we haven't gotten our money's worth out of Marvel Legends in a while. And I know I keep banging this drum every time I'm talking about Marvel Legends these days, but this is a perfect example of what's wrong with the line, where the idea goes, let's put out a retro Ghost Rider figure. Let's not include a bike with them, but let's charge $28 for something that's a repaint. There is nothing to this figure that warrants, oh man, let me go track this guy down. It's, well, if I'm going to do this, I may as well get the Legendary Rider one because that's more comic accurate and it comes with a bike. So I don't understand what they're doing. I keep feeling that maybe there's some value that I'm missing with these guys, but I don't see it. I went to Target 2 weeks ago and I started seeing the pegs for the $27.99 Spider-Man figures. And I'm like, this is really ridiculous. This is a Spider-Man figure. He's not coming with anything spectacular or amazing. He's just a basic Spider-Man figure. And it's $28. And then right next to him, you see the $24.99 Bone Breaker wave of X-Men figures. And I'm looking, I'm like, these guys aren't $25 worth either. And I know it's the same thing that a lot of people will say in the comments. Oh, if you don't like them, don't buy them. you're complaining, but blah, blah, blah. It's the same figure. And they're not doing enough to make these super high price increases repeatedly. You see other lines like Mattel's WWE line, they're just now starting to creep up to $21, $22.99. But in their defense, they were adding in extra heads, throwing in double jointed elbows, adding articulation, coming up with 2-in-1 portraits so you could do 2 eras of one guy with one package. So they've been doing creative ways to make that value worth it. I'm not saying I'm happy to pay $22.99 for figures, but I see what they were doing back when it was $19.99. So I can go, yeah, from this point, they've done some things to improve, enhance the value of what we're getting. And at $19.99, maybe we were getting away with it. And at $22.99, I'm still like, okay, that's relatively fair. But $27.99 for a retro figure, it's not fair, not cool, not down with it. And then for G.I. Joe Classified Series, retro collectors, got some news that the Zartan and Storm Shadow figures are going to be a little bit delayed until 2023. Now we've seen this trick, it's not coming out till 23. Psych, it's coming out 2 weeks from now. But I still think it's a little weird that Hasbro, at this point, with the pandemic basically over, that they're still going with the, hey, shipping delays are really holding us back. I mean, I keep saying this example too, but McFarlane Toys has consistently, very consistently, shown pictures of figures on their Instagram account. Hey, here's this new figure coming soon to a store near you. 2 weeks later, in some cases, at longest a month later, you see the figure on shelves. There's no, well, here's a figure and maybe you'll see it in a year. I don't understand how McFarlane has been so consistent with this, where every time they reveal a figure, it's coming. There's no funky delay. There's no, sorry, we're going to have to push this back 6 months from now. Or worse, we're just going to have to cancel the figure and you're just going to be short. I'm sure these retro figures are going to be worth it. I haven't been disappointed with any G.I. Joe Classified Series release yet, but the releases, the distribution is still not quite where I want it. Because I'm getting mad now, starting to see more people, the Crimson Twins, with Stalker, Dusty. And I'm kind of like, hey, I want mine too. And I guess that's the worst problem with the G.I. Joe line. I'll deal with it, but I kind of wish I didn't have to keep seeing all these cool figures that a lot of other collectors have in their hands because they're paying extra to get them from overseas when they just should be all over for all of us to get at the same time. This week was also Power Rangers week, so the Power Rangers team revealed a lot of cool Power Rangers figures, and I feel like those monsters need about 3 more paint apps to really be great, but the sculpts are always really nice, so I kind of feel like you just take a little black brush, a little dry wash, you can make those figures look great. But I think the sculpting is in place for really nice figures. The real highlight of those reveals to me were the Power Rangers Street Fighter mashups. We saw Ryu and Chun-Li. Ryu is Crimson Hawk Ranger. Chun-Li is Blazing Phoenix Ranger. Those are cool titles. I really like those names. I looked at the figures. I was so impressed with the sculpting, the details, the accessories. I was like, wow, these are really sharp, amazing looking figures. I want in on these. Then I saw the price tag. And I'm like, no. These are $33.99. And I'm just so confused because we started off with Power Rangers, the Lightning Collection figures, in 1999. And, you know, with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mashups, they were a little bit higher because they did 2 packs. Then we did the Shredder Green Ranger. That was a little bit higher too. And it's like, okay. But this is a solo figure. Chun-Li, the Ryu, they don't need to be $33.99. as much complaining as I did a few moments ago about that retro Ghost Rider, this is way worse because I feel like the potential for really cool Power Rangers and Street Fighter figures is super high. They would make really cool figures, as evidenced by the first two. At this price tag, I can't even tag in. I'm tapping out before I start. And the sculpting is so cool, and I wish I could get these figures. And I probably will if when they get down to, say, $15.99 or some online retailer, or there's some massive PulseCon sale again. But at this $33.99 price point, I want in, but I'm so far away from plucking down the money for something like this. And I don't think that Hasbro really understands this market right now where they're so close to import pricing on these things that a combination of Power Rangers and Street Fighter and Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles don't justify this increased price point. And it's just a matter of, I know you guys want to make all the money for your stockholders, your shareholders, and make them all happy. But I think if you sold more to your customer base and made them happy with more affordable figures, people would buy more. And your shareholders, your stockholders would still see that same benefit and relax and lounge on their yachts, making fun of all of us collectors, plunking down our hard-earned money for action figures. And I'm not going to bash Hasbro the entire time, even though I felt like this first 20 minutes was just me on everything that Hasbro released. We also got another tease for the starting lineup set. And this time, wasn't a figure, wasn't a glimpse of an elbow, a forearm, or a basketball. It was a hoop, which is something I was hoping they would show at some point. Maybe it's a build-a-set piece. But we're actually going to get a hoop. They've shown it, backboard, backdrop, and it's got a stand section or a little plated area with lots of holes for the different stands. I think that could be fun if the stands are maneuvered. You can pose them in a way that you can have them so you can have a figure dunking, another guy jumping up without it being too, hey, they're being supported by stands. I really like this setup. It's just a baseline hoop. Again, I still think there's potential and a possibility they could make a full court with different, just different parts of the basketball court with every figure, and just have everyone in a wave create a basketball court or two, just depending on how it's set up. But I like that they've got a hoop for us right from jump, and so we can pose everybody and do all the fun stuff. I'm really looking forward to this line. I still think they are really wasting an opportunity, missing the boat, revealing this line September 22nd instead of right now, and not starting with NFL figures, because I am hyped about football season. And I feel a lot of you are too. Go Niners. And even though we lost really bad to the Houston Texans this past week, but it kind of feels weird that they're not starting off the starting lineup revival with football players. I am excited about the basketball reveals to come. Still almost a whole month away, but looking forward to them. And I think with great sculpting, with great articulation, we know Hasbro does that no problem. This could be a real success. And then hopefully we'll start to see them branch off into other ones like football, hockey, baseball, you name it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that and really hoping we see some more, get some more information soon. All right, so the last episode, I told you my futility, my futile efforts in tracking down the WWE Legends 15 Classic Lex Luger. And the very next day, I found him at Target. It was crazy. Maybe I should start saying I'm struggling so hard to find affordable Marvel Legends figures. But yeah, really excited about getting this guy. Looks cool. I think they did a great job. Can't wait to open him. I'm fighting against my Four Horsemen. Me and Mark doing the thing. Really excited to get this guy. And Chase is now over. And Mattel really has me excited with their upcoming Legends. We've got the Head Shrinkers / SST, Stunning Steve Austin, Paulie Dangerously, not Paul Heyman, and Rey Mysterio, the Acolytes, lots of cool reveals coming. Can't wait. But one thing that I really cannot wait for, and it's just a few more moments, a few more stops away from arriving, is the WWE New Generation Arena. Got my shipping notice. It should be here today. I will probably try to figure out some way to record and break down my unboxing of that set because I cannot wait to break it down, as the great DX once said, and make that my new default red, white, and blue WWE ring. So looking forward to that, and I'll have a breakdown on that real soon. There was also some more WWE news. They had an Amazon live stream reveal. These are kind of lame. They're not really showing off a lot of new figures, just a handful of basics, but they did put up some live links for upcoming figures, including the Ultimate Edition 14 Roman Reigns. This figure is one of the few modern stars that I want in the Ultimate Edition line, and this looks like the definitive current era Roman Reigns, so I'm really looking forward to getting him. The pre-order is now up. They also have a 3-pack with him, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar. Everybody's basically in street clothes. Nice looking set. Brock seems like he might be a tad too small, but it's a nice looking set. Ring or non-wrestling attire for everybody. So I got your promo set. So it's really cool looking deal. Good packaging, all that good stuff. And then for people like me who missed out on Ultimate Edition 4, Brock Lesnar and Shawn Michaels, you get another chance. But I think Mattel and Amazon kind of missed the boat with this, because instead of going with the now standard $32.99 price point, they're going with a special bonus re-release price of $44.99. It's not good, guys. Not a good price point for something you're bringing back to give collectors another shot at figures they missed out on because of really bad distribution the first go round. Charging more doesn't make up for that. And finally, Power Town's Wrestling Legends Live Online. No news. And I keep getting, I think, a little bit more frustrated with every week, because this line looks like it has the potential to be a serious juggernaut in the wrestling collector realm. But we're not getting enough information from them. We're not getting any news on when they're coming, the price point. I think the two most important things about this line at this point, everybody wants to know how much they're going to cost and when they can get them. The figures look great. The packaging looks amazing. But now it's like, okay, you guys clearly have to have a price point in mind and at least one option for people to buy them, even if it's on your website. And to still kind of be in the dark with very slow trickling drips of information, starting to get a little bit frustrating, because I've got a long list of legends that I want to see in this line. And until we get that first wave out, I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get anybody else crossed off the list. So hopefully we'll get some more news on that soon. And finally, Chella Toys revealed that they're going to be doing Impact Wrestling figures. That's kind of cool because Chella looks to be making some pretty cool 6-inch wrestling figures. They've done Sabu, Dynamite Kid, a couple other legends as well. But tapping into a current modern wrestling promotion is really good. There's a lot of good talent in Impact, and everybody in that deserves to have a figure as well. So it'd be cool to get a Moose figure, Motor City Machine Guns, Jordan Grace, Deonna Purrazzo. That's going to be really nice to get them available to go against my WWE, AEW figures, maybe in some of these legends coming from Power Town. All right, so that's it for this one. Like I said, it was a quick wrap up of everything in the week that was. I'll be back, hopefully, later on in the next coming days with more G.I. Joe videos, more Marvel Legend focused videos, and of course, some more wrestling stuff as well. And as always, I really appreciate your support. I appreciate all the comments, the suggestions for videos you guys want to see, and everything else. So thank you as always for watching and supporting and following. This episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.